Imagine you are digging in ancient Greece, the sun beating down on your back, the scent of dry earth filling your nostrils. You've been at it for days, carefully brushing away layers of soil, hoping to uncover some artifact, some clue to the past. And then, your shovel strikes something hard. You kneel down, your heart pounding, and begin to excavate. Slowly, painstakingly, you unearth a massive bone, bigger than anything you've ever seen. It dwarfs your hand, its texture unlike anything familiar. Now remember, you are living in a time before modern science. No textbooks, no documentaries, no concept of extinction. The world is a much more mysterious place. What do you think? What explanation comes to mind when faced with such an anomaly? Giant? Monster? Some creature ripped from the pages of myth? Absolutely. That is precisely the kind of conclusion many ancient people would have drawn. Before paleontology emerged as a science, people found fossils all the time. And instead of identifying them as remnants of long-dead species, they wove them into their existing myths and legends, enriching their cultural narratives. These bones became tangible proof of epic battles fought by legendary heroes, evidence of the existence of gods and monsters that roamed the earth in a bygone era. And sometimes these bones were even ground into ingredients for magical potions, believed to hold incredible power. The world was a vast, uncharted mystery, full of wonders and terrors, and every strange bone discovered was seen as a crucial clue, potentially unlocking the secrets of something truly extraordinary. So let's travel back in time, not just in years, but in mindset, to a time when every fossil unearthed held the potential to be the remains of a fearsome monster, and every skull discovered had the power to inspire a brand new myth, a new legend to be told around the fire. This is not about mocking the beliefs of the past, far from it. It is about marveling at the incredible human creativity and ingenuity that flourished in the face of the unknown, the power of imagination to fill the gaps in understanding. Imagine the bewilderment of finding a delicate seashell high on a mountaintop, with absolutely no concept of geological time, no understanding of how mountains rise and oceans recede. You would have to invent a story, a narrative that could explain the impossible. We are about to embark on an exploration of a world where cyclopes were not just mythical creatures, but potentially based on real fossil finds. Dragons were not just fire-breathing beasts, but sources of potent medicine, and the earth itself was seen as a vast treasure chest overflowing with the bones of monsters and mythical beings. Forget Jurassic Park and its scientific accuracy. This is the original, unfiltered collision of humans and the awe-inspiring, often terrifying remains of prehistoric creatures. It is history, but with significantly more griffins, hydras, and other fantastical beasts lurking in the shadows. So buckle up, buttercups, and prepare your imagination and get ready for a journey through some of the wildest, most imaginative fossil stories ever told. Let's delve into the minds of ancient people and explore how they made sense of a world seemingly built upon the bones of giants and monsters. What is not to love about a journey into the intersection of mythology, paleontology, and the boundless human imagination? Imagine a world where the earth whispers secrets of mythical beasts. In ancient China, the discovery of a giant fossil was not just a paleontological find. It meant something far more profound. It meant dragon bones. These were not just any bones. They were tangible proof of creatures thought to exist only in legends. Dragons were not just legends, they were real, a belief deeply embedded in the cultural psyche. Their existence was as real as the ground beneath their feet, supported by these very fossilized remains. And their remains were prized, not just as relics of a bygone era, but as potent ingredients with healing properties. These dragon bones became a staple of traditional medicine, a cornerstone of the healing arts passed down through generations. Ground into powder, these bones were believed to treat everything from cramps to epilepsy, a testament to their perceived power. They were a cure-all, a panacea derived from the most majestic of creatures. Villages made a living selling fossils to apothecaries, creating a unique economy centered around these ancient remains. It was a world blending myth, medicine, and commerce, where the lines between belief and reality blurred. The value of these bones was immeasurable, both in currency and cultural significance. Even early paleontologists like C.C. Young tracked down fossils by visiting pharmacies, recognizing the crucial role these establishments played in preserving and distributing these ancient treasures. The belief was so strong that many skeletons were broken up for the medicine trade, a practice that might seem destructive to modern eyes. But it was seen as an act of reverence, not destruction. These bones were not merely objects, they were imbued with life force and healing power. These bones were healing tools, links to a mythic past, and economic lifelines, all intertwined in a complex web of belief and practicality. So next time you see a Chinese dragon, remember, for many, its existence was proven by the ground beneath their feet, by the tangible evidence of its bones turned to medicine. Fossils were not just curiosities, they were integral to the cultural and medical landscape. They were living legends, breathing life into ancient myths and shaping the course of traditional medicine. The line between science and myth was as thin as a dragon's whisker, a delicate balance between empirical observation and deeply held belief. In China, every fossil was a piece of magic and medicine, a tangible link to a world where dragons roamed and their bones held the power to heal. And that magic shaped science for centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the history of medicine and the enduring power of belief. In the sun-drenched lands surrounding the Mediterranean, where azure waters meet ancient shores, the ancient Greeks, with their inquisitive minds, frequently unearthed giant bones, remnants of a world they struggled to comprehend. These monumental discoveries seem to confirm the very essence of their epic myths. Giants, colossal beings of immense power and stature, heroes locked in legendary combat, and terrifying monsters lurking in the shadows of the unknown. Towns proudly claim to be built generation after generation on the hallowed graves of legendary figures, their deeds forever etched in the annals of history and myth. They were enshrining these mysterious bones as sacred relics, objects of veneration and pilgrimage, imbued with the power of the past. But perhaps the most famous fossil myth mix-up of all? The fearsome one-eyed Cyclops. The reality behind this myth may lie in the discovery of fossilized dwarf elephant skulls, with a huge, prominent central hole for the trunk, a feature that would have been utterly alien to those unfamiliar with elephants. To the untrained eye, these skulls, with their single large socket, looked remarkably like the skulls of one-eyed giants. If you had never encountered or even heard of an elephant, what else could such a bizarre skull be but the remains of a monstrous creature from a bygone era? This simple yet profound misinterpretation, born from a lack of knowledge and fueled by imagination, may very well have inspired the entire Cyclops legend, a testament to the power of storytelling and the human need to explain the unknown. The Greeks, masters of observation and narrative, connected the dots, weaving together strange bones and their captivating stories, creating a rich tapestry of myth and legend. It was a time of blending scientific curiosity with boundless imagination, a quest to understand the world through both observation and storytelling. Sometimes, the wildest, most terrifying monsters are, in reality, just misunderstood fossils, waiting for the light of scientific understanding to reveal their true nature. In those ancient times, myth and emerging science collided, and from that collision, enduring legends were born, shaping our understanding of the world for millennia to come. Even today, in our modern, scientifically advanced world, the line between established fact and captivating fantasy, between verifiable reality and enduring myth, can still be surprisingly thin, reminding us of the enduring power of stories and the human quest to make sense of the world around us. On the Central Asian steppes, the Scythians spun tales of griffins, lion-bodied, eagle-headed beasts guarding gold. But what if these legends were inspired by real fossils? The region is rich in protoceratops skeletons, lion-sized, beaked dinosaurs with frilled skulls. To a gold prospector, these bones looked like the remains of a mythical guardian. The beak became an eagle's head, the frill a lion's mane, and the legend of the griffin took flight. Ancient art even shows griffins with features matching protoceratops. Sometimes myth springs straight from the bones beneath our feet. The griffin may be the world's first dinosaur-inspired monster. In medieval Europe, every fossil had to fit the Bible's narrative. Giant bones? Clearly the Nephilim or dragons slain by saints. Fossil fish on mountaintops. Proof of Noah's flood. This diluvianism explained marine fossils far from the sea. Some thought fossils were just odd rocks, lusus naturae, nature's doodles. Others saw them as divine warnings or magical charms. Fossilized shark teeth, called tongue stones, were believed to fall from the sky and detect poison. Geology, theology, and magic blended into one worldview. Every fossil was a relic, a warning, or a charm. The Earth was a divine puzzle, and fossils were its mysterious pieces. Science and superstition walked hand in hand. Not everyone saw monsters in the rocks. Some saw clues to Earth's true history. Xenophanes noticed seashells in mountains and guessed those lands were once underwater. Leonardo da Vinci rejected the flood theory, arguing that fossils showed slow geological change. He saw fragile shells in mountain layers and realized they could not have survived a violent flood. In China, Shen Kuo found fossilized bamboo in dry regions and deduced ancient climate change. These thinkers glimpsed deep time, shifting continents, and evolving climates centuries ahead of their era. Their ideas were mostly ignored, but they planted the seeds of paleontology. They challenged myths with observation and reason. The world was not ready, but their insights endured. They were the quiet revolutionaries of the fossil record. So what do these stories tell us? Before science, we explained fossils with legends: dragons, giants, and monsters. Every fossil has two stories: the scientific one and the human one of awe and imagination. Ancient people were not wrong. They just filled in the gaps with the best stories they had. Our understanding keeps evolving, but the drive to explain the unknown remains. Today, we trade monsters for molecules, but the wonder is the same. Next time you see a dinosaur skeleton, imagine it as a dragon or a giant. It connects us to thousands of years of curiosity and creativity. Science and myth are both part of our story. And who knows what new legends we are creating right now.
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get early access to our videos and where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits saying cheers and have a good day.